the most important thing to me is that we find you something affordable. I want to make sure that we can afford this on holidays and birthdays and weekends because we still have life to live, right? But some people, they tell me that they want 10 or they want 20,000. Or if they can't afford exactly that 10 or that 20,000, then they say they don't want to do anything. And that doesn't make any sense to me, Mr. Chris, because having some thousand in place is a whole lot better than no thousand. It's a whole lot easier for your wife, Lisa, to be able to come up with just an extra 1 or 2,000 if she had to, rather than trying to find a way or raise money to come up with all 8 or 10, wouldn't it?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast. We have a great episode. Zach and I are going to give you some real powerful...
What are we talking about, Chris?
Nitro, Zach. We, guys, just so you know, we do coaching and courses. You can go to our website to check that out to help you become more profitable. Check it out. There's great stuff in there. And what we did for this podcast is we pulled out a coaching segment that we did with agents that was gold.
Yeah, it was actually over a 4-week period where each Thursday during our coaching call, we broke it down. It was a series called Coverage, Price, and Value, and there was so much in it. It actually went over 4 weeks. We broke down how to know what we're positioning in any sale that we're talking to people. We broke down the layers of need. We broke down all the different coverage options, where to go as an agent. We broke down how do we understand the affordability, when somebody can't afford it, when somebody says they cannot afford it, how do we present the pricing. We broke down the pricing strategies, and then we also broke down one of the most crucial parts is presenting that pricing and being able to build value to it to a point where you're closing the sale and they're able to pick a plan and they're able to get coverage and you're able to get a commission.
So, love it. That's if you want more information about that, you can go to the courses and coaching. Now, we wanted to extrapolate a portion of that for the next 2 podcasts so that you can have more confidence when you're talking about the money with your client.
The money.
Yeah.
Dinero.
So, we want to help you out, feel like you're winning in those moments when you're getting to the pricing. Areas where we see agents have anxiety is in really, the front of the call, the underwriting, the transitions. It's really the transitions, and the money is the transition part where we see agents kind of bail or panic.
You know the number one objection that agents get when they don't make a sale?
I need to think about it.
Yeah, or I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it.
They'll get that on the front side of the call.
That's the most common objection that we get, but it's actually the least realistic objection that's true.
Right.
Like it's the least truthful reason of why they don't get insurance. But the reason they give you that is because they don't want to say, Chris, Mr. Chris, simply, I just don't trust you. What you're working with up there, your shirt, your pants, your shoes, I just don't trust you and I don't want to move forward. They're not going to say that. No. They're not going to say, I don't like your tone. They're not going to say you're really pushy and rude. They're not going to say any of that. They're just going to say, I got to think about it. I can't afford it.
Right. They're
also not going to say, I really don't love my family. My son hasn't talked to me. Forget them. They can go ahead and find a way to bury me. I hope they have to pay for it. I have heard that once or twice, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
They're not going to necessarily say, I don't care. I don't love my family enough. I'm going to leave it stuck on them. So the easiest way to do that is to say, it's not me. It's not you. It's the money.
It's the money.
It's the money.
Yeah. So in saying that, let's clarify the next 2 weeks. This first week, we want to give you a framework for conversation, or at least a clear understanding of what what is really happening. That's
Yes.
today's conversation.
Yep.
Next time on the next podcast, we will be discussing what to say
Yeah.
in those moments.
How to execute it, how to move past it.
Execute.
Yeah.
Yes. We will teach you karate.
That's right.
How to punch. You learn defense now.
This
first.
is verbal jiu-jitsu
That's
when
right.
it comes to navigating these objections. But first and foremost, we want you guys as new agents, as existing agents, to understand when we're talking about money, we need to understand their position. We need to understand and have a belief inside of us that the objection they're getting us is not true, and we want to prove that to you. That way you can move through with confidence. So let's talk about money, Chris.
Yeah. So on this front side, and this is the thing I appreciate about you, Zach, is
Adam, record this.
you're a really good dude. No, the thing I appreciate, you are a good dude, but the thing I do appreciate is your empathy in understanding the client. And I think one of your strengths is individualization. So you literally see a specific person
Yeah.
when you're talking about final expense, for example, understanding where they're coming from, putting yourself in their position on what matters, what their finances may look like. And I know that's a big part of this pricing for us and what's really going on in the clients' lives.
100%. They have to feel heard. They have to feel understood. They have to feel that we know what their life is like. Mm-hmm. We know what their finances is like. But despite that struggle, despite that fear of the uncertainty of the income, we also have to understand the level and the magnitude that they love their family and what would happen without this coverage. And when your client can feel you on that side of the table, and we can address all of those thoughts that they're thinking and not telling us in regards to income and money and affordability, then it opens up that, and it opens up that barrier of trust, and it allows us to be on the same page, to move to something comfortable, to actually be able to close in that, which is cool.
Yeah. And the that front side and that understanding of this, there's a lot of pieces that go along with this, our principled sales process. So, I mean, we understand there's stakes involved. We understand that there's trust and belief and all of that. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing is kind of zeroing in on these price piece and having this conversation, knowing there's a whole bunch of other stuff built into this or baked into this. And in saying that, there's some ingredients on how to find the real picture or how to see the real picture of what's going on with the client.
Correct.
Are you ready to launch your insurance career? Excel Solutions is your go-to leader in life, accident, and health insurance pre-license training. Their cutting-edge e-learning platform is packed with rich content. Think interactive assessments, engaging videos, and customized learning paths, all tailored to your learning style. Being students ourselves, we've trusted Excel now for years to deliver top-notch training, offering high pass rates. Their streamlined prep review courses and the exam simulator are really your secret weapons to nailing the state exam the very first time. Now, you thought it couldn't get any better. Well, it just did. Life Insurance Academy listeners, you receive an epic 50% discount, reducing the regular course fee from $199 to only $99. So, all you have to do is use partner code LIA at liapodcast.org/Excel. Now, Excel spells XCEL. So don't think about it any longer. Dive headfirst into your insurance career with Excel Solutions Premier Pre-License Training with that exclusive 50% discount just for you. Get the code, get licensed, and excel in your insurance career.
Let's set the stage for a second, Chris, so we can give some people some perspective. So in this particular conversation, we're talking about income when it comes to a final expense client.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about somebody typically between the age of 55 to, let's say, 85, somebody that is lower income, typically $50,000 in household income collectively. or less,
Yeah.
not more. So that paints a picture.
Yeah.
Some typically lives in either inner cities or rural areas, not necessarily that middle suburb area. The homes are typically a little older, so these aren't new construction homes. These aren't necessarily young families. And a lot of them have a history of working in factories or hard labor jobs or really whatever that town is known for or is provided.
Yeah.
And a lot of them at this stage in their life are on Social Security or disability. So to kind of set that stage, fixed and limited income, right? It's predictable because it's basically the same. It's either on Social Security or disability most often, or sometimes
Or a
the tail
pension.
end of a work, right? A pension sometimes.
Yeah. Or maybe a part-time job. But that's not going to be predictable.
And it's not forever.
Right. Yeah. So we're getting a better picture of the client and their financial status. The other thing in those conversations is having an understanding of, again, back to what I appreciate about you is the individualization of a person. There's some commonalities that you just spoke to, but there's some things that aren't common, like their family dynamics, like people living with them or somebody being dependent on the income.
Yeah.
Or how many grandkids they have, or how many children they have, or who's going to be involved in making decisions for final expenses. I mean, all these are personalized pieces.
Yeah.
Or the type of work that they did in their retirement, what they expected to happen with their finances, all those other pieces, and I'm sure you have more.
Absolutely. These are also families that don't necessarily have a large lump sum in their savings account.
Yeah.
Right? These are families that don't have a shoebox under their bed full of money.
Yeah.
Right? These are families that are making ends meet. They're living paycheck to paycheck with minimal left over. And the amount that they have left over, they typically spend that on the small luxuries. So these people are actually very good, very, very good at prioritizing because they don't have a lot of money they can waste, right? So they take care of the bills and the necessities they need, and then whatever's left over, that's where they do a slight splurge on something that they might have wanted. Our goal is to understand and believe in ourselves to begin with. If we understand this clientele, Chris, they can't afford not to afford it.
Right.
Meaning, if an agent is like thinking that this is just an add-on monthly bill, this is an add-on expense, then it goes into that want category, and we'll see if it's left over after the other bills.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If an agent...
That's an important distinction, though.
Yes.
That is huge, because I think a lot of agents have that mindset going into this. Well, let's make sure everything's taken care of. And
that it's a nice to have, but not a must have.
Right. Yeah. And when you're saying that, most people in this specific demographic that we're speaking about are $600 away from a catastrophe. Their families, $3,000 to $10,000 would be a gut punch.
Think of it this: if a water heater goes out, it could literally be a few months before they can get it fixed.
Yeah.
Right.
So understanding what does the need for $3,000 to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 do to the family, to the grandkids? Like it's a black hole. I mean, of emotion and finances
in both ways.
Yeah.
Meaning a $10,000 to $15,000 bill, one of them pass. Where are they getting the money? How's that going to work? We have multiple incomes in the home, still making ends meet barely.
Correct.
And then on the other side, a surplus of that 15 to remove that burden, maybe have a few thousand left over. What does that do? How does that help them? So we have to set the stage. We have to understand. We have to have the belief in us as agents to know the truth. It's hard to afford, but they can't afford not to afford it. And one thing that is for sure, they all have cable bills, right? They all watch TV. They all have their things they want. But it's us to understand their heart, understand their priorities, knowing how important this is, but they haven't thought of it or they don't know anything about it. And where does this new thing called life insurance or burial insurance or final expense insurance, how is that going to impact their family? And in what order of priority does now that fall into their bills?
Yes. Yeah. That's good. And that's revealed in some folks would say discovery, some of us it's stakes. And really it's through a conversation of understanding their previous work, the things they spend their money on, recreation. I mean, you can be very intentional. Hey, when you're not working or when you're not doing this, what is it you do, like for fun? What do you do with your grandkids or things like that?
100%.
Like there are these moments in the presentation where these gaps, and I hear where you're gathering information, you're pulling up something on your screen, and I hear dead air when that's an opportunity to get valuable information on how you can serve the client better and understanding. I mean, you'll find things out like my son lives with me and he's helped me, but man, I don't know what it's gonna look like for him when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Or they've been helping a son this way, and it's almost an enabling thing, not realizing that when they're gone, they're leaving them a massive train wreck of finances, or like you can set them up to make sure they're taken care of.
Asking those questions lets them know that you care, lets them know that you're human. It humanizes you a little bit.
Yeah, that's
right?
that empathy piece.
That empathy, but also just having that talk like, hey, do you and Miss Betty have any vacations planned this summer? Do you have anywhere to go? Or no, we're not going to be able to afford one this summer. Okay, well, when's the last time you all got to go? Or where did you go? Where would you go? If you had the opportunity, where would you go?
Yeah.
Why is that? Did you have memories there?
Yeah.
Is that where you took the kids? So we're tying in the relationship, positive memories, but we're also figuring out, oh, yeah, we go every summer to this beach, blah, blah, blah. We know there's expendable income there that they're prioritizing for that beach vacation, right? Like we can start to understand that. We know if they take the grandson, Johnny, to dinner and the movies every other Tuesday when they watch him and they pick him up from school, we know that's probably $50 a pop twice a month. There's $100 going to Johnny for that little thing, right? So little things like that. Oh, no, do you have any, hobbies, or what do you like to do in your free time? Do you do arts and crafts? Just small talk, getting to know them. But again, oh, yeah, I have a whole barn full of model trains in the back. And I go out there and tinker, hobbies, expenses, different things like that.
Yeah. So this is the interesting thing, because I think there's a clear line that has to be drawn. I would say an aggressive salesperson or an aggressive, we'll say aggressive, who would say they know what they want, they know what they need, and you're wasting time. Like, we have to get through this and get to the next call. Well, what do you say about that?
They're impatient, right?
Yeah.
And again, people buy you; they don't buy the policy. And if you want to do it all in a short time, the policy is going to stick for a short time.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's how I feel. Like,
I agree with you.
And you don't have to do much. I'm not saying go hang out at their house and play, slapjack with them, right? Like, I'm not saying that. Yeah. But we want to develop relationships. We want them to know that they're different than the next call.
Yes.
They're different than the next client that's on the books. Like, they want to feel special. And we have technology now that can do that. We literally have CRMs, right? That you can put notes in there. You can know their dog's name. You can know the brother that lives with them. You can know the husband's hobby. And you can have that. So even when you do follow-up calls, or let's say you do an annual review with them just to check in or send birthday cards, you can add those personal touches that go a long way involved in that.
Yeah. And building trust and building referrals and all that. That's a different podcast.
It's a relationship business, right?
And you said something important. They're buying you.
Yes.
Right? They're trusting you. Now, agents can sell on their charisma and their confidence. You will get policies.
Yeah.
And if moving fast is your deal, just know that it comes at a cost of leads, of time, and then of follow up getting policies back on the book, or you're just going to ignore those and you're just going to try to write more business. That's the secret. But this is the thing I want them to know. When they buy you, they're buying your care and your empathy and the problem you're solving for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your charisma. And you thought it was you. Like,
well,
it is you, but it is like...
That's a perfect point, Chris, because there's agents out there that they sell policies. They don't know why. They don't know why it's this coverage amount. They just literally price quote or present the same prices to everybody like it's an add-on product, right?
Yeah.
And when they do that, they're selling life insurance for a premium. They're not selling, I would say, the gap filler to their vulnerabilities. They're not selling the peace of mind. They're not selling the love and warmth, the last gift, the last time that they're able to say "I love you" to the person they care about the most in their life. They're not moving in that direction. And then those people are also the agents that get upset when they have a chargeback or when somebody replaces their policy for a cheaper amount. But they don't want their client to be sensitivity. They don't want their client to worry about this company or that company or this price or that price. They want them to be emotional and attached to the reason and keep it. But the whole way they're presenting it is fast policy, sell this amount.
Right. Yeah. So that's something to pay attention to, just to understand the value in those conversations. And then some of these other pieces, it's not just about finding income. It is about finding vulnerabilities of who's dependent, maybe some coverage that they currently have, and what is the purpose for that? And what problem does that solve? And how does this solve a different problem? Or even debts that were unexpected that they haven't even considered. Yeah. Like those are all part of the conversation that you have. And
speaking on that source of income, Chris, like so many agents that we hear even at the boot camps that they don't even discuss or talk about, now I'm assuming, are you on Social Security or disability, right? Do you get that once a month deposited directly to your bank account, or do you get it on one of these green government cards that they give you, the Direct Express? We're able to form what type of income they get, how they get it. Now, you're not currently working anymore, are you? That can indicate, oh, great. Well, what'd you do for a living? Wow, you did that so long. Do you receive a pension or anything from them as well? Yeah. Or do you just get your Social Security? Like, is there any additional incomes? Now, do you do any part-time work? Is it hard for you to kind of settle down and keep going after working that many years?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I help out a buddy, on his farm. He pays me a little cash because I can only make so much on Social Security. Mm-hmm. Like, these are little conversation things to uncover those sources of income, right?
Yeah, great stuff. And I if you can implement some of this, and I know there's some agents, when you start talking about the money, you feel funny about it, but you got to step into it. And the more you do it, the less funny you feel about it. The less funny you feel about it, the more confident you communicate. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for people to come alongside of them and direct them to the next steps. And part of the next steps is expectations. Like, where's this headed? What's going on? What are we talking about? Like, we're doing this for a purpose and a reason. And when we're asking these questions, we're doing it to reveal vulnerabilities.
Uh-huh. And the vulnerability isn't, I don't have any coverage.
Yeah.
That's not the vulnerability. Because if they don't have any vulnerabilities, why do they need coverage?
Yeah. That's the external.
100%, right? Mm-hmm. What are those vulnerabilities to be able to move? It's not only asking the questions, but the important way and the reason we ask these questions is we don't want to tell them. Selling is not telling, right? We're not telling them, Mr. Chris, you need this because you don't have coverage in place.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to move it that way. We're gonna form everything into a question, and almost a question of concern, because I've already have been able to connect with you a little bit. I've already shown that I've care about you and your life and know a little bit about it. Now, Mr. Chris, you currently don't have anything in place to cover your final expenses. So what would happen if something was to happen to you today? What would Miss Lisa do in that situation? It's coming out of a concern and like a slight worry or panic, right?
Yeah.
In my voice, because I care about you as a client.
Right.
Right? It's not, oh, Chris, you don't have any insurance. Oh, no worry. We're going to get you taken care of today. I got some policies
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Just right here. Open your jacket. All the policies. I like that. I even like the pause. Like I like a pause there, Zach, of, oh, you don't have anything.
It's a surprise.
Like
We're surprised.
Pause, because I want them to sit in it for a second and feel it as we're doing that. So we're giving them the opportunity to reveal those vulnerabilities and how it affects them. But also we're allowing them to fast forward and see in the future the financial impact.
And what do you mean by that?
Of how the specifics of what it looks like for their family. And there's some questions we can ask. And these are in the stakes, really. I mean, it's
this is everything to do with the stakes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny how this all is like, we call it the principled sales process. It's all tied together in one delicious casserole. It's all the ingredients. Okay.
A really good casserole.
One of my favorites. Right. So,
but again, I can't emphasize enough that Chris, like you're one of the best at when it comes to that stakes and having that emotion, that connection. But how you ask those questions, it's not transactional.
No,
it's not moving. This is where we pause the brakes. This is where we slow down a little bit. We sit in this. Silence is our friend. Emotion is our friend, right? Final expense sales is emotion backed by logic. It's not a logic backed by emotion, right? So we have to understand that. And when they're able to sit in that, they feel it. And for most times, this is the first time they realize the magnitude, hence the value that this, the size of this vulnerability.
Value, yes.
100%. And you're able to let them feel that, but then as they're feeling it, as they see this, I don't want to say overwhelmed, but this sense of realization of how vulnerable they are with asking those real questions of what would happen if you passed away today? How would she be able to take care of the funeral expenses? What about the monthly income? What would she receive your Social Security or theirs, or do you understand how that works?
A lot of times people don't. Right?
No, most of them don't. Yeah. But being able to do that from a point of being concerned and care, but then at that moment, you become that boost of confidence and you come alongside of them with terminology of we, W-E.
Yeah.
We might be able to help with that. Like
help.
Right?
It's just help.
It's just it's a gentle hand to say, come with me.
We're going to look at this next step and this next step through the process.
Yeah, like they fell off their bike. We're picking them up, right?
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
Yeah. This is the part we're going to talk about next podcast, but is helping them identify how much coverage they want and they need based on their affordability. Because this is the we part. We're sensitive to it.
Yep.
It's important to us as much as it is important to them. So we'll talk about that next time, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. And definitely, I'm going to give you a line.
Yeah, let's talk.
I'm going to give you a line tomorrow, or not tomorrow.
You want to do it to the next one?
Up to you. Should I give it to him now or wait?
What do you think, Adam? Do we have time for it? We have time. Go for it.
Okay.
So this is an issue of demonstrating empathy and understanding based on the conversations we have and the stakes moving towards the pricing. So,
yep. So that has two meanings. This is literally something that I've used in face-to-face and I've used over the phone. I crafted this out of receiving certain objections and
wool, like real fine cashmere
that
you hand knit. Go ahead. Sorry.
Half the people don't understand what you say.
I don't either. You said craft, and then I see you in a spinning wheel. Anyway.
Well, sorry. I'll read it to you, and then I'll break it down what it's actually saying in real language. Okay. I'll say, Mr. Chris, the most important thing to me is that we find you something affordable. I want to make sure that we can afford this on holidays and birthdays and weekends because, Mr. Chris, we still have life to live, right?
Right.
But some people, they tell me that they want 10 or they want 20,000. And if they don't get exactly, or if they can't afford exactly that 10 or that 20,000, then they say they don't want to do anything. And that doesn't make any sense to me, Mr. Chris, because having some thousand in place is a whole lot better than no thousand. It's a whole lot easier for your wife, Lisa, to be able to come up with just an extra $1,000 or $2,000 if she had to, rather than trying to find a way or raise money to come up with all 8 or 10, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I understand that if you could, if it was affordable for you, you would probably want to leave Lisa all the money in the world, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Absolutely. So, that's basically the statement, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look here to see what we can do to help, right?
Yeah.
So this sets the stage. So to break it down, when we look at it, the first thing we say is the most important thing to me is that we find you something affordable. So that lets them know, because when we're moving towards that closing, when we're moving towards that pricing, they're already starting to pull back naturally, because everybody assumes life insurance costs way more than it does, and they won't be able to afford it or do anything about it, and they're embarrassed, so they start to pull away. This is a way to pull me closer to Mr. Chris.
Or a sense that there's a sale coming.
Yeah, or a
Yeah.
sale come. Hey, Mr. Chris, I'm with you.
Yeah.
The most important thing to you is unaffordable, but I'm telling you, the most important thing to me is that it's affordable for you.
Yeah.
So it creates an alignment, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then I want to let them know, I want to make sure you can afford this on holidays, birthdays, and weekends. So what I'm saying is, Mr. Chris, I know you have grandkids. You want to buy them Christmas presents. They have birthdays. I still want you to get your model trains, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this has to be important. So we want to make sure it has to be affordable, but there also has to be room, because you still have life to live.
Right.
I'm sensitive to their hobbies. I'm sensitive to their budget. I'm not asking them to cancel everything in their life and only buy the insurance.
Right. Correct.
So he's like, wow, that's true. I love that he's caring about me and my life, right? Then I say, some people, Mr. Chris, they want to buy $10,000 or $20,000, and then if they can't afford that exact amount, they don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So that came from when I was very first starting. They would go, I would, admittedly, not being very good, they would say, I just want a price. Go ahead and tell me what 10,000 is. And I'm all excited, like,
This is a buyer.
We're 6 minutes into this, and this guy's ready to see 10,000. Okay, I'm gonna show you, Mr. Chris. I'm gonna show you 10,000, and it never works. It never works. For some of you that are price quoting in the first 10 minutes, you're not closing any of them. You're not, right? Yeah. But you get excited. So what I'm saying is, it's not about you, because you may feel that
The pressure
of you thinking, I need 10,000 or 20,000 for Lisa, and if I can't get that much, then it's not even worth having any. I would rather almost leave her with nothing if I can't afford 10, because it makes me feel like less a man or less of a provider to not have that amount. It's embarrassing for me to have less than 10. Some people have that. And the reason is because everything they see on TV and internet or in the mail is big blocks of insurance.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So it helps communicate that. And then I back that statement up with, it's a whole lot easier for Lisa, the beneficiary, to come up with an extra 1 or 2. So basically I'm saying it's okay if you have 8.
Yeah.
It's okay if you have 10 and you want 12.
It's good if you have it.
It's okay if you have 7,000, 6,000. We know you're doing the best you can. You're still an amazing person, and you're taking a care of as much, and they're going to love you for that. That's what it's communicating.
Yeah.
And I'm making you agree with me by saying it's easier for her to come up with 1 or 2 if she had to, rather than you're saying, I want 10 or nothing. And all of a sudden she's scrambling to find 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now this statement allows me to say, we're getting insurance because we love your family and you're a great person, and this is what good people do.
Yeah.
Right? At the same time, I don't care if it's a 2,000 face amount policy or a 50,000 face amount policy. It's going to be something, and it's going to be just as impactful no matter what level it is.
That's great.
Then the next statement to finish it up is, I'm going to let him know, because I don't want to set the bar all the way low. I want to raise it up again, right? Now, Mr. Chris, I'm assuming if there's money left over in your budget, that you would want to leave her all the money in the world, wouldn't you?
It speaks to the heart behind the person and the intent.
Yeah.
And recognizing that and edifying it.
So now we're going to take care of this to the burden's not there, but also if there's money left over in the budget, we're going to do everything we can because we love them.
Yeah.
Everything we do is for love. So we know we're doing something, no matter how small, and it can possibly be really big.
Let's land there.
We're
going to continue this conversation on the next podcast. This is the car going off the cliff to be continued. All right. Well, these Duke boys get themselves out of this jam. All right. But thank you guys. I hope this brings value to you. Pay attention to how you're presenting these prices, or your intent behind it, or how you're doing it. That's really what this podcast episode was about. You are difference makers. Please, we want to hear your comments, maybe a takeaway or just a discussion item. You can throw it in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you're getting value. We're hitting over 60% of the listeners as subscribers. You can be the next one, and we will catch you on the next Life Insurance Academy podcast. Thank you very much.